All right, black women, excuse my silicone patches, right? Here's the thing. I was watching Cynthia G, and I think a lot of young women who are on TikTok foolishly falling victim to these lives where guys are sitting on channels trying to get you to believe that you need to be in relationships with them, you need to be in these nuclear families, and just be in relationships with them where they're in your life, lording over you, telling you what to do, controlling you, and manipulating you. Now, Cynthia G went over the situation with the lady in Georgia where they're using this black woman as a guinea pig, right? And the laws written in that state allow those white representatives and white people at the heads of different government to socially experiment, scientifically experiment on this black woman. Now, the fact that black women down south are not outraged, not outside going crazy and writing letters and speaking up, petitioning is out of control. And honestly, black women, you all in the south are way too fucking passive when it comes to people taking your rights away. And even though this can happen nationally, y'all need to wake up and become real fucking proactive, okay? You need to do something about this. You need to especially turn that whole fucking state from Republican to Democrat. That's what you need to do in every goddamn southern state where they are taking away black women's lives and their rights. They're literally hand walking you into slavery, and you are not seeing it because you are romanticizing by some dumbass show on television that y'all are seriously allowing these people to creep into real life. Except for you gonna be the only ones suffering, like in that show. You're gonna be the only ones being beat, put in jail, being killed. And the part about it is, if you don't care about yourself, at least care about your daughters and your granddaughters. Y'all need to be in grassroots programs right now, making sure every woman in your vicinity votes out these Republicans and votes no to all these laws that they put in to try to take over women's bodies. You have to do these things. I don't know what's going to break the spell y'all are under when it comes to standing up for yourselves and realizing that there are no men in this country that give a fuck about black women or women's lives in general, because they are going along with the shit that is happening to us. And they're doing it happily. Now, I can't show her face in this video because she has a trademark. So I'm just gonna play her voice, but y'all really need to hear what she's saying, because what she's saying is true. And she did a very simple inquiry to ChatGPT, and it literally tells her what is happening with these abortion bans and what these white folks are secretly and seriously trying to creep in our society. And the crazy part is, we could stop them. We could stop them dead in their tracks if we just all get on the same fucking page and fight against them. It's really that simple. It's always been that simple.
So as y'all see, I said, with the current legislation, how close are we to a Handmaid's Tale society, and what will be the consequences? It said, we are closer to a Handmaid's Tale society in the United States than many people are willing to admit, especially when you strip away the sci-fi elements and look at the ideological and legislative trajectory. Below is a brutally honest breakdown of how this dystopian reality is inching into real life and what the likely consequences will be. Reproductive control is already happening. Roe versus Wade was overturned. Okay. You can't get an abortion with some of the restrictions. Even you got to have it even with incest or even brain dead. Trigger laws were pre-written in red states specifically to take effect once Roe failed. This shows premeditation to strip women of bodily autonomy, meaning they were planning this. Surveillance of pregnancy is expanding. In state with abortion laws, women have already been investigated or arrested for miscarriages, medication possession, even search histories or text messages related to abortion have been used as evidence. women are doing nothing about this. Apps that track menstrual cycles have come under scrutiny as potential tools for state surveillance. Forced birth is framed as a moral imperative. Politicians and religious lobbies frame childbearing as a woman's duty to society, especially white women, given white births are declining. Look, they giving you the real, and we go ask ChatGPT, is this about saving babies? And watch what's going to happen.
It's not.
Some GOP members have proposed abortion bans nationwide, even for blue states. IVF is under attack, as seen in Alabama's recent legal decision treating embryos as people, meaning even assisted reproduction is being restricted if it doesn't align with religious ideology. Legislation mirrors theocratic ideas. Many abortion ban laws are explicitly Christian nationalist in ideology, elevating God's design over personal liberty. The alliance between right-wing evangelicals and the state echoes Gilead's fusion of religion and law, especially when laws are crafted around biblical interpretation of gender roles and reproduction. Look, consequences. What's coming if this continues? Legal subjugation of women. Women will have fewer rights than embryos in many states. The criminalization of miscarriage or non-compliant behavior during pregnancy, smoking, not following doctor's orders, will treat women as state-owned vessels. Expect mandatory birth registries, forced reporting by doctors, and prison time for self-managed abortions. Class-based reproductive apartheid. Wealthy women will still have access to safe abortions through travel or private clinics. Poor women, disproportionately Black and brown, will bear the brunt of forced reproduction, continuing cycles of intergenerational poverty and systemic oppression.
Before she continues, I want to make sure you understand that, right? They know this, and you will be giving birth to their workers to continue their capitalism. That's why this is important to them. They don't give a fuck about babies' health, children's health. Look at them. They stand outside acting like fucking maniacs when people try to go into abortion centers, but yet they don't give a fuck once that baby is here. If that baby has food to eat, a fucking place to stay, the mother is employed or has support, they don't give a fuck about that. All they care about is, look, fuck you as a woman, have that baby so we can keep populating this earth, so we can keep making money, living off of you poor motherfuckers, so we live good. You have to stop participating in this bullshit. And once you throw away that fucking religion that they have indoctrinated you into, your eyes will fucking open up. And you will see how all these men in this country only give a fuck about dominating you and literally creating birth farms in every fucking community just so they can stay rich, you can stay impoverished, and that shit never changes. It only changes when you get mad and you realize that fuck this shit, fuck this country, fuck this government, and everything that does not benefit me the way it benefits some fat, greasy, racist motherfucker. Y'all have got to wake the fuck up. You are literally allowing these people to do whatever the fuck they want with no pushback. You don't even have to live in those fucking states. You could get the fuck up and move, not live there, and go struggle it out in a democratic state to get your money and get back on your feet and cripple the motherfucking economy of those red states so that the shit they're trying to do does not fucking happen. If they don't have money, they don't have no way to back all this ridiculous shit that they are putting into existence. They do it because they know you scared. They know you weak, and they know you fucking complacent. They know that any fucking thing they do, typically to black people in the South, you have no fucking fight. You will not push back, and you will allow them to kill your fucking children in front of you, take your life, and don't do a damn thing about it. Because you have been conditioned and indoctrinated to be passive. It really fucking angers me because it's so easy to stop all this shit. Just get out of all of this fucking brainwashing. Get rid of the religion. Get rid of the gender roles, expectations. Be fucking independent. Every black woman, stand on your own. Get rid of these men who are not supportive. If they're not out here screaming about women's rights and ready to fucking die for women to be free in this country, they're not for you. None of them. Because they all will come together to come against women just so they can have personal fuck slaves. Do you not understand that? And when they make the laws built in enough, they will be fucking your daughters, your children as well. Societies have already done this. In the Greek times, in the Roman times, in the beginning of America. They just trying to go back to their old fucking deviant, insane ways. And when you realize that it has been less than 100 years, women have been free. We're no longer property or slaves the way we used to. And you fucking women are complacently heading back to voluntarily put the fucking chains back on your minds, your bodies, and on your daughters. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Prison population will rise, especially for marginalized women under pro-life enforcement. That means you black women, it's telling you right now, this is going to affect you the most. And as you see in that video, that was a black woman, not white woman. Look, increased government control over sex, relationship, and fertility.
The part she's saying about us going to jail is a real thing. You see it right now with the immigration policies. They are literally shipping people from America to countries they don't come from, to private jail prisons to make profit. They are literally kidnapping people and trafficking people legally. And because you all voted for this tyranny, for this racism, because I guess you felt like it was only going to happen to black people, you are still not getting the whole picture. Like, you have to go against these white people. You have got to fight against everything they stand for if you want any of this shit to stop. That is what it is. You got to vote them out, and you got to make sure they never get power the way that they have right now. Because they're going to flag this video. So when you see it, please save it or share it as much as you can, because they're going to take it down. They're going to kill the sound, but I'm also going to post it on my YouTube channel, because you have to get your brain right. You have to get white supremacy and the hold that white people have on you out of your fucking heads. Because when it's too fucking late, it's too fucking late. You need to act now to stop it completely and make sure it never fucking happens again.
Tell y'all, if you let them tell you if you can have a baby, they go tell you who you can have a baby with. Look, men will not be held accountable.
They won't be held accountable, and you know what else men will do to you? They will traffic you, prostitute you out, and do you worse than a lot of the prostitutes you see on that channel on YouTube called, what is it, the Pink Underbelly or something like that. The way that they have those women on drugs, delirious out of their fucking minds, being fucked on every day until they lose their ability to walk. And their vaginas are so swollen, they have to be surgically repaired to continue to be made to have sex. Are y'all okay? Are y'all okay? You are still so gone with the fantasy of a fucking man, family, and bullshit and love, when none of that shit is important when it comes to your life, your rights, and the fucking freedom in your life for you to say, I don't want you fucking nowhere near me. I don't want you touching me. I don't want you around my children. Get the fuck from away from around me. That is what you are giving up when you continue to sit quiet, sit fucking complacent in the shit that's happening to women. Just because it's happening to a black woman and it ain't you, it will fucking be you if you continue to let this shit keep going on. But you keep listening to white folks and watch where the fuck that's gonna get you.
Its focus is entirely on controlling women, because you don't want to fight back. Again, men will not be held accountable. They're not right now. The focus will be on controlling you. The rise in anti-LGBTQ laws shows the state's interest in enforcing traditional reproduction models. Artificial wombs and surrogacy regulation could become a state function if population fears escalate. The return of patriarchal family structures, meaning they're going to force you into these relationships with these bandits because they ain't gonna hold them accountable. With abortion restricted and child care unaffordable, women will be forced back into traditional roles of mother and homemakers. This aligned perfectly with the far-right vision of the nuclear family and the idea that a woman's value is in her fertility and submission. It says, final reality check, you're not going to wake up tomorrow in Gilead, but step by step, brick by legislative brick, the foundation is being laid. And it's not just about abortion, it's about reshaping society to prioritize male dominance, female submission, and reproductive servitude, all dressed up in patriotism, morality, and religion. This isn't alarmist. This is the documented legislative trend. The U.S. is not fully there yet, but if people stay complacent, while these policies normalize, we can reach a point of no return within the next 5 to 10 years. It says, what to wait for next? Federal abortion bans, expansion of fetal personhood laws, surveillance tool tied to pregnancy status, punishment for traveling across lines for abortion, prosecution of doctors and support networks, reduced access to contraception and IVS, and women are doing nothing.
They aren't doing anything. And the simplest thing you could do is research snake venoms, plant poisons, and different animal poisons. Everything from a fucking frog to what else? They have frogs, they have lizards, every type of insect there is that has a natural poison. You need to be researching on those poisons, because a lot of poisons you can ingest in your body, but they will make you sterile. You will not be able to have children. So these are the things that you need to be looking at and working on now, in case all of these legislative bricks that she's talking about are allowed because of women being complacent, not fighting back, not pushing back against total world male dominance over women and girls. And you find yourself in a position where they're putting chains on you and your only purpose in life is to serve, fuck, and have children. Now, if that's your motherfucking wildest dream, please step to the motherfucking side of all the other women and let them have you. But I'd be goddamn if I want that for me, my daughters, or my granddaughters. Fuck them and anything they want for the future. If they can't roll up their motherfucking sleeves and get to work like everybody else and earn it on their own instead of getting it out of fucking blood, fuck them. They don't deserve what they got. They never fucking worked for what they got. And you are sitting complacently allowing them to set it up to take it from you without even a fucking fight. It's so disgusting. And I hate that y'all are being so weak and so fucking cowardly, when all it takes is a little fucking pushback. And you don't even have to be rallying. All you got to do is make sure you stay involved with whatever the government is doing. Stay on top of every fucking law. Stay on top of every fucking vote. Every motherfucking election. Everything. And turn those motherfucking Republican states, turn them blue. So that these motherfuckers do not have the backing they need to blend the church and the state. Because that's all they're doing right now, when that is constitutionally illegal. But when you got everything stacked to one side where people do what the fuck they want to do, and the ones trying to fight against them don't have enough people to win, you're giving them the fucking win without even giving a fight. I have to calm down, because I don't understand how y'all are being so fucking weak, when all it takes is to vote these motherfuckers out in drones. You don't even have to change your party. All you got to do is whenever an election comes, do not vote Republican. I don't give a fuck who the Democrat is. As long as it's not a Republican turned Democrat, you take the new person that's Democrat and the old one that you could trust, and make sure these motherfuckers lose their power. Because they banking on you to not give a fuck about yourself or your own future.
Is the abortion ban really about? Because it already
White
told me.
supremacy. We already know this, but let's see what it's going to say. It's to keep white supremacy going. They need people to feed their capitalism. But let's see what it says.
Oh, I meant abortion ban. Hold on. I messed up. Hold on. Hold on. Abortion ban. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Why isn't it going?
You got to
There
give
it
it a
is.
minute. Now it's going.
Look at what this thing is saying, y'all. I want y'all to look at what this is saying.
Read it if you can.
Look, it's saying the abortion ban is really about one thing: enforcing control over women's body to preserve patriarchal power, white supremacy, and economic inequality.
It really is.
The ban, not just the moral debate, is a political, social, and economic weapon designed to limit freedom, especially for women who are poor, non-white, and defiant of traditional gender roles. This is not about saving no damn babies. The women who think it is are gullible.
Yep. And let me add something else before she continues. And this is why that statue was put in the middle of Times Square. Because the way it sits now, when you look at all of the white women with their, oh, it's hired a black fatigue and all this bullshit, right? And people coming on here being overly racist, is because they only see black women as the nation's outliers against the things that they are doing that are going to negatively impact all of us women for the rest of our lives and for the rest of the children that we bring into this world to come. So making you the target, starting with that statue and the constant conversation about black women as, oh yeah, they're the troublemakers. These bitches don't want to comply. These stupid black motherfuckers online, they don't want to submit. These bitches don't want to fall in line. They're fucked up. They're bad mothers. They're this, they're that. They don't want to have a nuclear family. They don't want a black stupid nigga to lead them. They don't want to. This is all part of what these motherfuckers are gunning for. They want you to look at us as, oh, I don't want to be like those women. Those women are so fucking difficult and problematic. They want you to be a dumb bitch. They want you to give into the capitalism. Breeding babies like you're a fucking incubator, like these motherfuckers are calling you. And that you don't have a life. You don't deserve shit. You're not worth shit. You're not supposed to want shit. But all you're supposed to do in your life is to be a modern day fucking slave in America. To work hard, pump out fucking poverty babies for some white motherfucker to live a great life off of. This is what all this shit is about. And to maintain the system of patriarchy where some white motherfucker sits in control of everything and never gives any of the people of this country equal power, equal rights, equal amount of enfranchisement so that their fucking families could have the same fucking generational wealth as these nasty, greasy white motherfuckers that never earned anything. I can't with this. I know they're gonna ban this video, so y'all better screen save it, whatever the fuck you gotta do. Go to YouTube and watch it. But you have to start sharing this message, black women and other women, to women in general. You have got to fucking fight back. Right now, at this point, the only thing you could do is fight wherever you live to push back against all these fucking Neanderthal fucking rules they're trying to put in place to make sure you are not seen as a human being, but you're seen as a thing to do whatever they want. We spent all that time getting rid of statues in New York City about white people experimenting on black women, just to come all the way up to 2025 to have these motherfuckers right now doing it in your face because y'all sat your asses on the fucking couch and did not vote for Kamala. And you thought this nasty looking shitting in his diapers dude was going to do right by you.
Let's break it all the way down, brutally honest and with no sugarcoating. Bans are about punishment and control.
Exactly.
Not life.
They've always been. Bans have always been punishment.
If it were really about life, then the same people banning abortion would support universal health care, maternal leave, welfare, and child care.
They would.
They wouldn't let black maternal mortality skyrocket. They wouldn't let children starve in poverty or die from gun violence, but they do.
Yep.
Because the abortion ban isn't about protecting life. It's about punishing women for having sex, especially outside of male control or religious marriage. It's about forcing them into motherhood, whether they're ready or not, because once a woman is pregnant, she becomes more controllable, economically dependent, and socially constrained. 2, it's a tool of patriarchal reproductive control. Banning abortion returns society to a time when women's value was tied solely to reproduction. It treats women like breeders, not human, and that's not hyperbole. No man is ever forced by law to donate organs or blood to save another life. But a pregnant woman is expected to risk her life, health, and future to protect a fetus, even one she didn't consent to carry. It's about control. That's not morality, that's ownership. The state seizing control over women's body as reproductive property. It's about white demographic survival. Many of the loudest voices behind abortion ban are white conservatives panicking over.
And now listen to me, right? Because I know y'all love to believe all the lies white people tell you, right? This is why when they're telling you that bullshit about black people being 13%, that's not true. We are over the majority of people in this country. We've always been in this country, and we have always outnumbered white people, so much so that they had to make it 3/5 of a person in the Constitution because we outnumbered them and still do, like 10-1. But y'all believe everything they say because you want to always have the lowest expectation for yourself. What she's saying, ChatGPT is telling you that it's about white demographic control. You can't have a 7% population out of 93 controlling the 93 once they say, fuck you. We not letting you do that no more. Then they lose control altogether, which is why they fighting so hard to big up their numbers and to make sure they have control over you so that even if you are having children to populate their capitalism, they still could throw you somewhere where you have no effect on changing, stopping, or completely destroying the system they build to empower them and empower you. This is what all this shit is about. And you need to wake up.
White birth rates. This is the core of the far right's great replacement theory, the belief that white people are being outbred by immigrants and minorities. That's why they got rid of all the immigrants. Abortion bans are meant to force white women to have more children, reclaim traditional white families, prevent the U.S. from becoming majority non-white. But they'll never say this directly. Instead, they hide behind life while quietly engineering forced fertility among white women and criminal neglect of black and brown mothers.
Let me tell y'all something. And this is important because when you pay attention to what they've been doing, and y'all have been allowing it to happen, right? They passed bills like the SAVE Act, where the very thing we're talking about, where they want women to be controlled and only men to have any say, any freedom, any rights, is because those women who foolishly took their husbands' last names, now when it comes time to vote, the majority of them will not be allowed to vote because they passed that fucking law, and the whole process to change your name takes a long time. And if you poor and you don't have money to pay for that shit, you are checked out the box. They don't have to worry about your vote. So you have been voided. All because you don't pay attention to real shit. And black women, you on here too much with the fucking pick-me's and these useless fucking black males talking about relationships, fucking, body count, dumb shit, when all this real shit is happening to you. And these black males have time to waste playing online because this shit ain't going to affect them. It's going to affect us. And the only fucking way out of it when the shit hits the fan is to take yourself out or fight the good fight and take as many of them out as you can. That's the only two options. And y'all are passively, happily going along with this shit.
4, it preserves class hierarchy. Abortion bans don't affect rich women. They'll fly to another state or country, get care privately, and return home quietly.
And let me tell you how the international world is complicit with America's bullshit. Y'all remember that the last year before Biden was about to leave office, did y'all see how magically France wrote into their constitution abortion rights for women? So that means that women from all over the world always have one country they could come to get abortions if they really need them. But how the fuck you gonna get there if you poor? They lock you into your country, take away your passports, or they bar you from flying out this bitch. Do you understand now? This is all a fucking setup because you're not giving enough pushback. You're not outraged enough because you too busy being worried about laying up with some fucking nigga, fucking him, and living in a fantasy. When he don't give a fuck about you losing your rights or about you becoming a human slave in 2025 or being killed or thrown in jail for the rest of your fucking life. He don't give a fuck. You gone, he get another bitch with a pussy. That's all they care. They don't care about nothing else but fucking women, producing babies, and controlling you because it makes them feel like they fucking somebody because they ain't nobody. And that goes for all them sorry motherfuckers. All of them. Because if you need to suppress a group of people to feel like you somebody, well, you ain't shit.
For working class and poor women, especially in red states, no money equals no access equals forced motherhood equals economic track. This system keeps poor women overworked and undereducated, which sustains cheap labor and intergenerational poverty, a feature, not a flaw, of capitalism. It's a political red meat for religious extremists. Evangelicals didn't even care about abortion before the 1970s.
They didn't.
The pro-life
They didn't give a fuck.
Exploded at the manipulative.
You know why they started to give a fuck? Listen to the timeline of what she's talking about. This is the end of the 60s into the 70s, right? Black people just were starting to be allowed to get government jobs. They started all these governmental programs for you to go to college, because all before you were barred out of all that shit unless you had money or you were a very diligent, resilient black person that was going to fight all odds to get what the fuck you wanted. So when the 60s came, the end of the civil rights, you had all these programs open up, all this education, all this housing, all this supposedly equality, right? And then in the 70s, you had moguls pop up that were black, that were never there before, with programs funded by the government that don't exist today. This is how you got people like Johnson & Johnson, Ebony Magazine, Jet Magazine, Enterprise, etc., etc., etc. This is what she's talking about. Y'all need to pay attention. And it wasn't important to keep their foot on your neck before all of those programs took off, because you weren't really having babies like that made a fucking difference in the capitalist society. All you was good for was for prison. But now, when you enter into governmental contracts with other people, and people like, oh, okay, I see we got another way to exploit these motherfuckers. Okay. Now, we got to keep the population controlled, because if it's too many of them, they will outnumber us. They will outperform us, which is why they fucking blew up 80 cities in America that were economically doing well, where black people live. Fuck Black Wall Street as one place. Black Wall Street was for the whole entire country that had prosperous cities. You understand that? This is why you have to push back, and you got to stop having your head in the fucking dirt and in the clouds. Stop fantasizing about fucking relationships, men, and fucking children, and playing gender roles. You're about to lose your fucking humanity playing gender roles. You can't play house with these motherfuckers because they don't want to play fair.
Political tool to unite white Christians, distract from the support of segregation, control elections through rage and guilt. Abortion bans are performative morality. Politicians don't give a damn about embryos. They care about winning elections, pandering to Christian fundamentalists, maintaining power by controlling sex, gender roles, and freedom. Final truth. Abortion bans are not about morality, not about babies, not about family. They're about state ownership of the female body, enforcing submission to patriarchy, sustaining racial, sexual, and economic dominance, eliminating female autonomy. Now, keep in mind, women, regardless to race, prefer to create the males who are doing this.
Yep.
Women prefer to give birth to the males.
And this is why we tell you, stop birthing these motherfuckers. They already outnumber us as far as the world goes because they were killing women and little girls like crazy. We are literally a fucking endangered species at this point. They outnumber us like 20-1 all over the world. If you keep having these motherfuckers, they're never going to take their foot off our necks. Never. Until we go fucking extinct. And maybe it's a good thing we do go extinct, because when there are no women, these motherfuckers are definitely going to die. And this shit comes to a fucking end the way it should. But you women have stopped. Yo, you got to stop playing for the other fucking side. You have to be on the side of women and little girls and yourself. Stop playing for the fucking side of the oppressor. What's up with y'all? This lady that's in the hospital right now, deader than a motherfucker. Her body is decomposing as these sick motherfuckers are trying to bring a dead fucking baby into the world. It's not going to happen. They have been doing this for 5 fucking years already. Google the articles on women who are in comas and who are brain dead that are tied to fucking machines trying to bring live children into the world. Mother Nature is never gonna fucking allow that to happen. Do y'all understand that? But what you gotta understand more is, stop putting your fucking self in a position to bring these fucking demons into the world. Okay? If you don't have sons, they don't grow up to be men. If they rape you and you take their life, they don't rape nobody else. Y'all gotta wake up. Wake up! Put your fucking helmet on and get in the game.
Do this. That's the problem here. The problem here is that women haven't realized that they are the reason this is here, because they are the reason, because they are the ones who are choosing to give birth to these males and have been. Yep. Generation after, first of all, males have been oppressing females since the beginning of time.
Yes, they have.
They've been oppressing females since the beginning of time. So if you can make it make sense how women prefer to give birth to the very thing that's been oppressing them since the beginning of time, then that right there is the problem.
She's not lying. I'm going to stop it there. If you want to see her whole video, you should. But ultimately, all of us women need to get a hold of every woman and get her to understand. Nobody gives a fuck if you love your husband. Nobody cares if you love your sons. This is about women's survival. And to stop these people from trying to turn us into modern day slaves. And don't think because I'm a black woman telling you this, that you are exempt because you Asian, Hispanic, white, or something else. They don't give a fuck about you either. And when they get us, they're going to get you if you're not a white woman, right along with us. Even you Asians that want to be white and think your caste system is going to save you, it's not. It hasn't all this time. And the only women that understand this right now are the Muslim women that live in countries where they are already doing this shit to them. They just want to spread that shit through the rest of the world. Y'all need to stand up or completely lay the fuck down and die. One of the two. One of the fucking two. Because you will not survive this shit. You really will not. So either you fight to live or you lay down and die. Choice is completely up to you. But y'all need to turn those motherfucking Republican states blue. Get rid of the power you have given to these people who have no motherfucking morality, have no integrity, and do not care about your humanity.